The NFL Week 5 preview on Old Fashioned Football on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100. That's right, they upped it in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code OFFSGPN.
Hey, what's up? This is Sam Acho, and you're listening to Old Fashioned Football.
Welcome to Old Fashioned Football. If you're wondering who you listen to, this is JMark. You can find me in the X at JMark Football. And if you're wondering who us is, that's at Old Fashioned FB. Before I keep going, on our 200th episode, I got to introduce my I can't talk, my co-host on the pod and in life. You can find her on the X at the Mark. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
I recovered well.
Yeah,
there.
Just force it out faster.
Right. Yeah. When at first you don't succeed, just do it faster, I guess. Maybe that's not a great motto. Shout out to the chat. Nick Fortune saying it's time to panic. Channing giving us a cheers. And NASCAR Gambling Podcast giving us a cheers. Happy 200. That's right.
Thank you.
It's our 200th episode.
This snuck up on us out of nowhere.
It did. Pinky checking in. Congrats on 200. Yeah, it really did. It doesn't feel like 200 episodes.
Mm-mm.
But, really, all I have to say to that is thank you to you all for tuning in each week. And if you don't tune in each week, that's okay too. But we do appreciate the support that we get. It means a lot to us. And here's, I guess, hoping for 200 more. Hopefully we can continue to win you some bets, give you some good fantasy advice, and maybe help you pick out a good whiskey for a special occasion. I get that a lot. It's a lot of pressure when you have a
Oh my gosh, I get those
show.
questions a lot too.
Yeah.
I actually was just asked the other day, I'm trying to think of the exact words, spoil yourself whiskey.
Yeah.
And that I guess could be taken different ways. Like, what's a whiskey you grab often if you just want to spoil yourself, like treat yourself? Or I considered it spoil myself if I'm going to really like spoil myself and get a good whiskey.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people also, I give out too much information and they're like, not expecting all these details. Sorry, that's what you're going to get, because I love to dive into the history and background on the distilleries and how every whiskey is made and
the uniqueness.
Uniqueness.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's a lot of info. I won't skip ahead and steal this from you, but the whiskey we're doing today, like, it's fun.
Yeah.
It has a cool history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least details I found interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to Wesley saying good evening, everyone, and happy 200. IDP Plus saying congrats on 200. And Hunter checking in, congrats on 200. We appreciate everybody. Yeah, and like we said, it snuck up on us, but it is a big accomplishment to get through 200 episodes. If you've never
struggle through it on the struggle bus,
if you've never done a podcast, there's a lot more than I ever realized that goes into it.
We've almost fired our editor many times, our graphics editor.
Yeah, the graphic guy, he's about been out of here multiple times. But I didn't have a replacement, so I couldn't fire myself. If you're new to our show, welcome. We're going to go over some injuries, some news. We're going to do our 2-minute drill where we preview every game, give you some recap of last week, preview this week, talk a little bit of a best bet and a little bit of fantasy. And then we're going to talk about whiskey, of course. And there's bye weeks. Our first bye weeks.
Oh my gosh. Doing waivers last night. And I'm looking at, I was like, oh, bye weeks are finally, like, not finally, but they're already here. I guess it's only week 4, but regardless, they're here and it's impacting me severely in some leagues already. With injuries on top of that. Like, the injuries are killing us.
And we're going to get to those. But before we do, what are we drinking today?
So today we are drinking Wilderness Trail Rye Whiskey, which is a small batch bottle and bond.
Yeah.
But we'll be drinking that in our old fashioned throughout the show. But stay tuned. We'll wrap up the show with a whiskey review in our cocktail, and we'll try it neat and give you all the fun info.
Yeah, absolutely. Wesley saying he's third, only 3 points out of first, picking against the spread. That is awesome. And Channing's fantasy football team got hit with the bye week bug. That happens. I believe there was 2 or 3 years ago you had bye week 9. Maybe it was longer than that. But
how did I know? Like, I just knew you were going to bring this up.
I couldn't help it. Like,
it was more than
everybody
3 years ago, because it was back when I had the time and I put effort into my team names, and not that one. I was just like, okay, I had like 6 players in bye week 9. My team was bye week 9 that year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why
and
not?
I suffered that week.
You did. Don't forget to download the SGPN app in your app store for easy and free access to all of SGPN's picks and podcasts. Let's talk about these injuries, because there's a few. There's a few big ones.
Yeah. Well, this one's not an injury. I did want to announce new starter alert. Dylan Gabriel is going to be starting for the Browns. Joe Flacco has been benched.
Poor Wacko Flacco.
He's not been showing up.
No. Well, maybe it's the Browns organization in general.
Maybe. But getting us back on track for injuries, Malik Neighbors has a torn ACL. He's out for the season.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has a hamstring injury. Not a lot of details so far, but I have a feeling he's going to be out the next couple games and then maybe come back after their bye week 7.
Yeah, I think that makes sense for them anyways. But I mean, also they are 1-3, so they really need him.
Yes.
I don't know.
Brock Purdy, he suffered a setback with his toe, and he's out along with Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings.
Yeah. Tough for the Niners. Christian McCaffrey just keeps sucking the life out of everybody.
I was just gonna not to repeat, but bring us back to Christian McCaffrey sucking the life out of all of his teammates.
Yeah.
Then we've got Bucky Irving. He was spotted in a walking boot and using crutchers. Not a good sign. He's likely out this weekend.
Crutchers.
Crutches.
Crutchers.
Did I really say crutchers?
You really did say crutchers.
You know what? Roll with it.
Roll with it. Yeah, that was a surprising one. As somebody who's been in a walking boot, that's usually not a good sign. Another surprising one, Trey Benson. He was placed on injured reserve with a knee injury, which
I don't like that one.
Yeah, well, and he kind of got banged up last week at the end of the game, but they didn't say it seemed serious. Apparently it is. He's out for the next 4 weeks, so you're going to have to turn to Amari Democado and Michael Carter. They're the next guys up. Now let's talk about this last one, which was kind of a big deal. Tyreek Hill, you probably did not see the video. It was disgusting. But he dislocated his knee along with tearing the ACL and some other ligaments. They did surgery, and it was a one-and-done surgery, they think. Now, they may need to go back in there, but it was a gruesome injury. It's similar to Tank Dell's injury. Hill is obviously out the rest of this year. He said he thinks he'll be back next year. I don't know.
I told you, we're not going to see another 1,000-yard season out of him.
Never.
Done.
And the Dolphins might cut him. He is due $5 million roster bonus and an $11 million injury guarantee bonus if he's on their team in March of next year. I have a feeling they'll cut him. And at his age, how he depends on speed, this might be it.
It's not looking good. It's sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He had a great career. He had a really good career, but unfortunately, this might be it for him. Real quick, before we keep going, I got to let you know that we're brought to you by MyBookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none, and their motto, I love their motto, it's bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Just head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. If you have not seen CJ Sullivan's Novig ad where he's talking to himself, he's doing an incredibly acting job, playing 2 different parts there. Make sure you go check it out. But we're brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you're getting some of the best prices in the market. And they're available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, we are back. How you doing over there?
I'm doing fine.
You're doing fine. You had a look like you wanted to say something. What was your message?
Apparently my soap making business still has a page out there.
Oh.
And somebody messaged me that used to.
Asking for soap?
Mhm.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Hunter said grocery shopping with the wife. Got to run, but wanted to update the Pittman Lamb bet. Pittman's at 62.4.
yes.
Lamb is at 38.2. Sorry, Serial. Congrats to JMark for still being undefeated in his fantasy league. Thank you. That's right. I am 4-0 now. So
did you have to bring that up? Did we have to bring that up? Also, I just want to circle back to Hunter stats, and I love this. I love that he's keeping track of this for us. Thank you so much.
I also love it because it's almost obvious Pittman may win due to the injury to Lamb, but I'll still take it. I'll take it.
Right is right.
Right is right. And shout out to Gary. Pour me one, he says. He made it to the pod. So should we jump into our 2-minute drill and start previewing these?
Oh, that's what I was doing when I saw the message about soaps.
Yeah, about soaps.
Well, let's get my Audible out of here too. We don't want.
About time to start making some new soaps. If you want some homemade soap from Miranda, just go ahead and put your order in the chat there.
Let's just keep going. Keep going, people.
Keep going. You had some good ones. I remember.
I know.
I'm trying to remember what my favorite one was. You probably know. Do you remember off the top of your head?
It was the oak one.
The oak one. That's very specific. Thank you. Yes, you painted a perfect picture.
What are we doing? We're doing
myself.
2-minute drills. Can you get us back on track? You are derailing us.
As I often do. Again, there are 4 bye weeks, so check your lineups.
Yep.
And again, this is the 2-minute drill. We're talking each game for the upcoming week. We're recapping last week, which, by the way, last week I went 11-1 or 11-8. Sorry, 11-1 would be nice. I went 11-8 in the bets I gave out, including Jags money line dogs, including Bears money line plus Odunze anytime touchdown parlay, even though I know you hate my parlays, and our bottle lock teaser, which we'll talk about that a little bit more later. But anyways, we are 31-22 on lock bets. And we're going to talk a little fantasy as well.
Mm-hmm.
Should we jump right into it?
Put the pressure on.
Yeah.
Because let's just give us some.
Let's
a lot of pressure to
run
get
into
all this.
Thursday night
I'm starting
football.
my laps, so don't be alarmed by my stopwatch this week.
Yeah, right.
All right. Yeah. Thursday night football. We have the 49ers hitting the road to take on the Rams. Rams are the 6-point favorites, which tells me that the books don't think Brock Purdy is playing, or if he is, he's not healthy.
And he was ruled out like an hour ago, I think, or something.
Well, he was. Duh. So Mac Jones, we're looking at him. He did look good in the 2 weeks that Purdy was out. But to recap from last week, Purdy threw for 309 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 2 interceptions. CMC only ran for 49 yards on 17 carries. This is a 2.9 yard average, but he had 6 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown on 11 targets. Pearsall had 5 targets, 4 catches for 46 yards. But again, it's going to miss some time. The Rams hung on and they beat the Colts 27-20 in a game I thought they were going to lose. However, they scored 14 points in that last quarter. Stafford threw for 375 yards and 3 touchdowns. You had Kyron Williams, 77 yards, but didn't get his normal touchdowns. Horrible for me. Puka Nacua was on fire again with 13 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. You had Devontae Adams with 4 catches for 56 yards and a touchdown as well.
Yeah. This is a weird game to bet. You know, we said Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, all out.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to take CMC's receptions. They set it at 7.5, which seems like a lot. I also wanted Kyle Juszczyk over receptions. I thought that would be a little bit fun. So if you can find that, I could not find it yet, but if you find it, take Juszczyk. But let's do a fun bet. Let's go LA Rams first drive field goal at plus 330. Their first drive is going to be a field goal.
All right.
No touchdown, no punting, no turnovers, field goal.
Okay. Looking at your fantasy, you've got Kyron, Puka, CMC in this matchup. You know to start them. But for an overperformer, I like Devontae Adams because he's only projected 11.8 points in half PPR leagues. He's scored over that in each of the last 3 weeks and has had a touchdown in all 3 of those weeks as well.
Yeah.
For an underperformer, I think I'm looking at 49ers. Well, that's going to be Mac Jones. The Rams defense has been really solid all year. They are both Jesus, couldn't get O-line out there. You've got your O-line banged up, the receivers banged up. This just is not looking good. I would not start. I wouldn't start Mac Jones.
And I don't think you need to apologize to Jesus. It's okay. You did say sorry, Jesus.
Well, yeah, I was like, I could not think of my offensive line. O-line.
All right, let's move on to Sunday morning. We got another early morning game, 8:30 out of London this time. The Vikings are 2.5-point favorites against the Browns. The Vikings lost in Dublin, 24-21, but now they stay across the pond in London. This is the first team that's gone from one international area to another. Could give them an advantage, though, because they've already gone overseas. Carson Wentz last week threw for 350 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Mason ran for 57. Justin Jefferson had a big game with 10 catches on 11 targets, 126 yards. And welcome back from suspension, Jordan Addison, who had 4 catches on 8 targets for 114 yards.
He sure did.
The Browns lost 34-10 to the Lions after their win over the Packers. Now they head overseas with Gabriel. But Flacco had 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. Main bright spot on this team is running back Quinshon Judkins. He had another 82 yards and a touchdown. Another one, a fellow rookie Isaiah Bond. He had 3 catches on 6 targets for 58 yards. And if they can start utilizing his speed, he might become more relevant in the future. For the best bet, it's not posted yet, but Jordan Mason rushing yards under. The Browns have been really, really good against the run. So I'll tweet out these. There's a lot that aren't available yet. I will tweet them out as we put them together.
Okay. Fantasy-wise, I think you know to start Justin Jefferson. And with Jordan Addison looking good last week, I like him as a flex. But to give you an overperformer, Kenneth Gainwell just went off on this Minnesota defense. And they'll be without their linebacker, Andrew Van Ginkel. So Quinshon Judkins is projected 13.61. He's at least getting 15 points. I feel like he might get closer to that 20-point range.
Yeah.
For an underperformer, you already mentioned him, Jordan Mason. He's projected 12.97, but the Browns defense has been extremely solid against running backs. Take a look at, Josh Jacobs, David Montgomery over the past couple weeks there. I think unless Mason can get a touchdown, that number is too high for me.
Yeah, and shout out to the chat. Channing coming through. Use check receptions, 1.5, over 1.5 is plus 155. I am smashing that. Smashing it. So I got to find a book that offers that, since the one I was looking at did not. But they were lining him up at wide receiver. He catches passes out of the backfield. That just seems like an easy bet to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Next up, Raiders and the Colts. With the Colts 6.5-point favorites, Raiders lost in last second blocked field goal to our Chicago Bears, 25-24.
Amazing.
I do.
It's one of those moments where you're just like,
yeah,
you are taking credit for you like doing this at the TV.
I was waving at the TV to block it. I think I get some of that credit there. Geno Smith only had 117 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Don't start him against me again, Kinsey. Sorry. Ashton Genty did have a huge game, though, running for 138 yards and 1 touchdown. He also had 2 receiving touchdowns, which you know because I played him against you.
I know.
Jacoby Meyer was Geno's favorite target again. He had 7 targets, but Brock Bowers actually caught more passes. He had 5 for 46. And the Colts lost that close one to the Rams, 27-20. Dan Jones continues to look good. He threw for 262 yards and a touchdown, though he did throw 2 interceptions against a good Rams defense. Jonathan Taylor had 76 rushing yards, also 5 catches for 20 yards. Michael Pittman, the resurgence of Pittman, who is beating CeeDee Lamb. He was targeted 10 times.
Rub that in.
5 catches, 41 yards and a touchdown. And Tyler Warren continued just being a beast of a rookie tight end, catching 5 for 70. And A.D. Mitchell, he had 3 catches for 96 yards and made a huge 75-yard play, but he started to showboat and fumbled it right as he was about to cross the goal line, and it went out the back of the end zone, which becomes a touchback for the other team. Dumb move. This one feels easy. I don't know why the Colts are less than touchdown favorites here. They have a really good team on offense and defense. The Raiders still trying to put it all together. Give me the Colts to easily win this one.
All right. Fantasy-wise, we're all wondering if Ashton Genty can keep up that performance that he gave against the Bears, and we'll have to see, but I think you obviously have to start him. Bowers has to be started, as well as Jonathan Taylor. Aside from your studs, for an overperformer, Raheem Mostert looked decent for the Raiders last week, running the ball 4 times for 62 yards, catching 1 for 11 yards. He's a guy that's popped off here and there in his career, and that could be used to, spell into even like more often now that he's healthy again. I am going to stay away from this underperformer. I think you probably have to go with Tyler Warren. However, the Raiders, they've been pretty good against opposing tight ends. So I would be cautious, hoping for, he's currently projected 12.65 points. I'd really be cautious against that.
Yeah, for sure.
Or again, I would be cautious hoping for that. There's nothing to be against. I just don't think he's going to have it.
I knew what you meant. If that helps any. Yeah.
I'm just throwing words out. We'll see if it sticks.
I knew what you meant.
Okay.
I don't know if they did, but I did.
You get me.
Yeah,
you get
I
me.
get you.
All right, this next game, we've got the Giants who are hitting the road to play the Saints. The Saints are the 2-point favorites. In the offseason, Justin, you thought this would be a battle of teams that haven't won a game.
I did.
But not so, because the Giants notched their first win against the Chargers, 21-18.
They did.
In Jackson Dart's first start, he only threw for 111 yards and a touchdown, but he ran for 54 yards and a touchdown as well. Cam Scatterbo carried the ball 25 times for 79 yards. Now with Malik Neighbors out, they're going to be looking at Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson to step up, but those two only combined for 6 catches and 58 yards on 9 targets. The Saints, they're going to continue to look a mess, and you're going to, I at least am wondering, are they going to turn it over to Tyler Shuck soon? Rattler hasn't been terrible, but obviously he's not winning them games.
Yeah.
He only threw for 126 yards and a touchdown. Kamara had 70 rushing yards, and Kendre Miller also getting involved with 65 rushing yards on 11 carries and a touchdown. Chris Olave had been a PPR machine. However, he only had 3 catches for 20 yards, but he did get that touchdown.
Yeah, just a little fun nugget there on Spencer Rattler. If he loses this game, he becomes only the 4th quarterback to ever lose his first 11 starts. Now, the other 3 were nobodies, but Troy Aikman was one of them. So maybe he'll turn it around. The Giants win was the first 0-3 team to beat a 3-0 team since 2008. Giants coming off their first win against a really good Chargers team. And next week they go against this really bad Saints team, and they're underdogs? What? This doesn't make any sense. Give me the Giants. It's a small dog, but Giants plus 115, and bonus bet, because I know you love parlays, Miranda.
I hate parlays. Let's continue.
The Giants have 2 maniacs in Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart. If you watch them play, they're very physical and they're just maniacs. But I love Cam Scatterbo, so give me Giants money line plus Cam Scatterbo anytime touchdown. I don't have a price on that yet. I think it's going to be around 3.5, 4 to 1. But yeah, I will update you there. I might look just now because that was earlier I looked.
All right. Looking at fantasy, I feel like sorry.
I also feel that way.
This is a tough one because you don't have Malik Neighbors. We aren't sure who's going to step up at wide receiver, whether it's Slayton, Wan'Dale, somebody else. You likely have to start Scatterbo, but for an overperformer, give me Alvin Kamara, who's projected 13.08, which he hasn't hit yet this year. However, the Giants defense,
So you're saying there's a
I know
chance.
there's a chance. The Giants defense, they just let the Chargers run all over them, with Hampton having 128 yards and a touchdown and 5 catches. If Kamara is going to have a breakout game, I feel like it could be this week. For an underperformer, it was a little tough finding somebody to fade in this, because the ones to fade, I doubt you're starting. However, if you're relying on Juwan Johnson because you drafted him late or you have tight end injuries, he's projected 8.91, and he hasn't hit that the last 2 weeks. His targets have also been dropping each week. He only had 3 targets this last week.
Yeah.
So I just feel like he's going to underperform. He's not hitting that.
Yep. I agree. This next game may be my favorite to bet, minus the some of them we've already covered here. But the Cowboys hit the road as 2-point favorites, only 2-point favorites against the Jets. Now, the Cowboys just played 60 minutes of football and added 10 minutes of overtime to end in a tie. I think that's the dumbest thing in professional sports. You pay $700 for a ticket to go watch your team fucking tie? No, it should win or lose.
Play it out.
Yes.
Somebody will tire out and you'll score.
Go to
them.
another overtime. Don't give me these fucking ties.
No,
Anyways,
I hate that too.
yeah, Dak did look better against the Packers than he did against the Bears, throwing for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns. Javonte ran for 85 yards and a touchdown. George Pickens, 8 catches on 11 targets, 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did really step up with CD out, and Jalen Tolbert also looked pretty decent. He had 4 catches for 61 yards on 6 targets. The Jets are coming off that 27-21 loss against the Dolphins where they made a ton of mistakes, but there were some positives. Fields threw for 226 yards and a touchdown, but the damage on the ground was where he was most impressive, as always. He had 81 yards and a touchdown. Breece Hall also had 81 yards as well. Justin Fields now has one of the lowest winning percentages of all quarterbacks in their first 40 games or 40 starts. Just throwing that out there. In the receiving game, I love Fields, but that was a mind-blowing stat to me. In the receiving game, Garrett Wilson had 6 catches for 82 yards and a touchdown on 8 targets, and Mason Taylor, 5 catches on 65 yards. He looked decent. This is a weird one, but my gut just says take Dallas -2. I don't know why it's not a bigger number. I also like Breece Hall over his yards when it is set. It's not yet. I like over his catches. Justin Fields over his yards. Justin Fields anytime touchdowns. And here we go. My official play. I was doing my Dak Prescott. Here we go. Official play. Dallas -2 and Hall over 3 catches. Lock that up. But a barrel strength play that's fun. Dallas -2. Breece Hall over rushing. Breece Hall over 3 catches. Justin Fields over rushing yards. Javonte Williams any touchdown. Fields anytime touchdown. I'll tweet that out when we get a price on it.
All right. Fantasy for you guys. Javonte Williams has become an automatic stud and starter along with Breece Hall. Overperformer for you guys. Give me Mason Taylor. Fields looked his way a lot last week, and I think they're building that OChem that I'm always talking about. He's projected 5.6 points, but in deeper leagues, you may need to start him. And with bye weeks already hitting us in the face, I think he gets closer to 10, almost twice his projection. For an underperformer, George Pickens is coming off of a big game, but now he's facing Sauce Gardner. You likely have to play him, but I think he may have a tougher game this week.
Yeah, I like it. We're failing at our 2-minute drill.
I know. I think we need to compare a little bit more of of our notes before we go into this, or give us each like, you got a minute, I got a minute.
Okay. Yeah,
we're bringing too much into these. Broncos at Eagles. This is an interesting game, in my opinion. Broncos head into Philly. Eagles are the 4-point favorites. The Broncos made it look easy against a bad Bengals team, winning 28-3 this past week. Bo Nix threw 326 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, or he didn't, but he threw for 2 touchdowns. He also ran for a touchdown. That's the one he had. J.K. Dobbins had 101 yards, and R.J. Harvey added 58 yards. In the air, Cortland Sutton led with 5 catches for 81 yards and a touchdown. Marvin Mims had 6 catches for 69 yards. Troy Franklin was targeted the most with 8 targets, but only came down with 4 for 55 yards. Harvey had 4 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. Engram also had 7 targets, but only caught 4 of those for 29 yards. Looking at the Eagles, they remain undefeated after beating the Bucs 31-25. Hurts threw for 2 touchdowns. Both of them went to Dallas Goedert.
And
but
not AJ Brown.
Nope. I'm gonna get to him. Just you wait. Hurts also ran for 62 yards. Barkley had just 43 yards on 19 carries, but he did get a touchdown. And then speaking of AJ Brown, it's another dud game for him. He had just 2 catches on 9 targets for 7 yards.
He's killing me.
He's killing me too. I'm over him.
Yeah.
Don't have patience for this.
Right. I'm over him, but I'm not going to overthink this game. The Eagles are playing very good ball. I thought Baker and the boys would trip them up last week. They didn't. Broncos playing better, sure, but they are not on the Eagles level. Give me the Eagles to win this one at home, -4, lock it up.
All right. Hurts may have a slower day than normal, but still, you start your studs, including him, Barkley, J.K. Dobbins, Cortland Sutton. For an overperformer, give me Broncos running back RJ Harvey, projected just 6.87, but he's coming off of a 17.8 game. And yes, I know they were ahead, but I think because they'll be behind, he's going to get involved in the receiving game. And I just gave you like his stats. He had the 58 rushing yards last week, but for the receiving, there was 4 catches on for 40 receiving yards and a receiving touchdown. Give me him for the overperformer. Underperformer, you likely have to start AJ Brown.
I do.
I'm hoping he has a big game, and then maybe I can offload him. Like, he's back. He's going to perform. He's going. Then let's trade and get him out of here so I don't have to deal with those inconsistencies every week. Because if you have AJ Brown, you're starting him. He's hurting you.
Yeah.
He's hurting me. It's awful. With Denver's cornerbacks, he's likely going to be limited this game as much as I want him and need him to perform. He's projected 11.37. So far, his games have been 1.3, 5.2, 19.9, and 1.7.
I don't need to relive my trauma like that.
No, I'm giving it to you. We're reliving it together.
Well, let's move on and talk about this game. Dolphins are 1.5 point favorites at the Panthers. Obviously without Tyreek Hill.
Yes.
So the Dolphins won against the Jets 27-21, their first win of the season. But again, it did cost them Tyreek Hill. Tua had 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devon Chan had 99 yards and a touchdown. Minus Hill stats, which no longer matter. Waddle had 3 catches on 6 targets for 48 yards. And I guess welcome back Darren Waller. What a surprise.
Mhm.
He got 3 passes on 4 targets, 27 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's worth a waiver just to see what happens.
Yeah, and if you bet Darren Waller 2 touchdowns, which Kramer did say to take a stab at it, that was like 80-1. So congratulations to you. I have FOMO there. The Panthers are hard to get a read on. They beat the Falcons 30-0, and then they got whipped by the Patriots 42-13. Not sorry, Cody. Congrats. Bryce Young threw a touchdown, but otherwise he looked pretty bad. Hubbard only ran for 49 yards, and then he got hurt. He's questionable. Tet McMillan, the only stud of this team, 4 catches on 8 targets for 62 yards, but also tight end Tommy Tremble, who I talked about years ago on Rod Villagomez's show as a stash in deeper leagues. 8 targets, 5 catches, 42 yards, and a touchdown. Keep an eye on if he continues to get involved. This is a weird one for betting. I think I'm just going to trust that the Panthers get it done at home. Give me the Panthers on the money line.
All right.
I guess. I don't like it. Maybe
No.
Devon Achane over rushing too.
Okay. I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Speaking of him, you start Devon Achane. You shouldn't need to be told, but
Yeah.
you know,
Start your studs.
You start your studs.
Yeah.
Overperformer, give me Tommy Tremble. He's coming off of a game with 8 targets. His projection is 2.46. I think if you're desperate at tight end, he's a great plug and play this week against Miami, who's 30th against tight ends. And it sounds like Panthers' other tight end, Jatavian, right?
The
It's
names
Jatavian?
these days.
It's me. I'm always going to trip on names.
Whatever happened to Fred and Bill?
Oh my God, no. Just shut up, Justin. Jatavian Sanders. He's going to miss another week with his ankle injury. For an underperformer, Jalen Waddle is going to be looked at in a lot of fantasy leagues. He's projected 11.05, I think it was. He's going to have less than 10 fantasy points this week.
I mean, there used to be like Walter and Jim and Mike. Now there's Jatavians.
There was always Jatavians. So
Were
let's just continue,
All right.
Justin. You are
Servachias. There's a defensive guy, Servachia Dennis.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's talk about the next game, which is the Texans at the Ravens. The Texans are 0.5 point favorites because the Ravens will likely be without Lamar Jackson. No official word on that, but I do think he will be out. The Texans coming off of that 26-0 win over the Titans, where Stroud threw for 233 yards and 2 touchdowns, and Woody Marks ran for 69 yards and a touchdown, caught 4 passes as well for 50 yards and a touchdown. I love the name Woody Marks, though. What's that on your pants? Oh, just some Woody Marks. Nico Collins had 4 catches for 79 yards. The Ravens lost to the Chiefs to fall to 1-3, and they lost more than that, including multiple players like Lamar Jackson. Cooper Rush is his backup. Derrick Henry had just 8 carries for 42 yards. Zay Flowers had 7 catches for 74 yards on 8 targets. And for a best bet on this one, Derrick Henry has averaged over 120 yards a game against these Texans. He's had 11 touchdowns in the last 9 games against them. Give me Derrick Henry to bounce back and hit over his yardage. It's not set yet. I bet it'll be at like 86.5 yards. I'm taking the over.
All right. Looking at fantasy, even though Stroud and Collins have been letting us down, the Ravens defense is allowing some of the most points to quarterbacks and receivers. I'm playing both of them as well as Christian Kirk this week. And I'll start there with the overperformer being Christian Kirk, just because of how bad this defense has been. Kirk is projected just 7.48 points. This feels like a bit of a breakout game for him and the Texans. I also like, you just were talking about Woody Marks.
Yes,
No, stop. Just stop. You are so, I can't with you right now. Underperformer for you guys. I think you have to play Zay Flowers, but I do think he's going to be under his projection. He's projected 11.31. I'm cautious since he'll be matched up against Derek Stingley Jr., who has done a decent job limiting receivers this year.
Yeah, very good cornerback. Just can't get over my Woody Marks. Huh?
I'm done with you. This is done. Can you please just keep us on track?
I will try. But first, you got to keep us on track by talking a little bit about Underdog Fantasy.
Absolutely, because we are brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is a great place to play Fantasy Pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, available for a ton of different sports. We'll be posting plays on our socials, so make sure you subscribe. And Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code SGPN. OFF SGPN. My goodness. OFF SGPN.
We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is off to a great start in college football and the NFL. Rhythm has introduced a new leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app, or 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, we are back. You ready for these late game windows?
Yes.
The late games, I mean.
Let's do better. Can we just do better, Justin?
Well, you kick us off.
I restarted my laps. It's okay. It was
It's
bad. We can just, it's like a clean slate. Yeah, we were failing miserably.
It's our 200th episode. We're allowed to do a little bit longer on games.
Are we? No, keep it.
All right, well, it starts with you with the next game.
All right. Up next, we've got the Titans. They're hitting the road to face the Cardinals, who are the 7.5-point favorites. The Titans scored 0 points against the Texans, losing 26-0. There really isn't much to talk about. I'm not bringing you stats for that. It speaks for itself. 0, nothing. Goose egg. The Cardinals are falling.
Blame me for time, but say 5 different ways of saying 0. Okay.
Just emphasizing the 0. They sucked. Okay. The Cardinals fall 2-2 after losing 23-20. I know I'm part of the problem. They lost to the Seahawks. Kyler Murray threw for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns, but also 2 interceptions. He was also their leading rusher with 41 yards. Trey Benson, poor Trey Benson, he had 35 yards and a 4.4 yard per carry average, but they only ran him 8 times. Marvin Harrison continues his good season with 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. Trey McBride also had 7 catches for 52 yards. These two accounted for 21 of the 40 targets on the team.
That is crazy. This is an odd game to bet because I feel like Tennessee is going to do something stupid, play them close, backdoor it, especially with Arizona's injuries. And Arizona hasn't looked that good this year. So there's not a line for it yet, but give me Trey McBride over receptions. I like that up to 6. So if they set it at 5.5, take the over. If they don't set it at 5.5, if it's at 6.5, take the alt line of 5 and parlay that with Arizona money line.
No, don't parlay anything.
Do it.
Fantasy-wise, Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride are your studs to start. But for an overperformer, oh, man, I was going to say Trey Benson, who is definitely not going to be the overperformer.
Not no more.
All right. So give me Amari DeMarcado, yes, and Michael Carter. I actually like Carter's upside. DeMarcado doesn't seem like a guy that can handle a full
Sorry, you
workload.
said Democrat Carter and it made me laugh.
Demicardo. I'm a mess over here. I was gonna go Benson, but that's out. It's out. All right, underperformer. He's been doing this all season. Calvin Ridley. I know you're holding out hope he's gonna have a really big game, but so far
I'm
he's
not
put
anymore.
up points of 4.7, 7.2, 3.2, and 4. He's projected 9 this week, and I don't think he gets to it. It looks like a 4-point game for him again. Stop trusting him. Bench him.
Yeah, I agree with that. Next game is the Bucs at the Seahawks. The Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites, which is weird to me. But the Bucs lost to the Eagles 31-25. They were down 24-6 at half and rallied back. Couldn't rally far enough. Excuse me. Baker threw for 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. Bucky Irving, the man who is now injured, ran for 63 yards, but also caught 5 passes for 102 yards and a touchdown. And Mika Ibuka continued his excellent rookie season. He had 4 catches on 10 targets for 101 yards and a touchdown. Chris Godwin had a bit of a slow start in his first game back, but he did have 10 targets and caught 3 of them for 26 yards. For the Seahawks, they come off that 23-20 victory over Arizona. They're now sitting at 3-1. Sam Darnold was 18 for 26 for 242 yards and a touchdown. Kenneth Walker ran the ball for 19 times for 81 yards. We told you, don't panic on him after week 1. He was fine. Jackson Smith and Jigbo was the leading receiver with 4 catches for 78 yards, and it was another dud for Cooper Kupp. The Bucs are 8-2 against the spread against teams with winning records in the last 10. They're 7-0 when traveling over 1,000 miles. I know you think, oh, they're traveling all the way. Let's fade them. You don't have to. They bounce back after the Eagles loss. They win the game. Give me the Bucs money line plus 155. And for a barrel strength bet, we're going Bucs money line plus a Rachaad White anytime touchdown. I'll tweet that price out later when it's available, just like all of them. All
right. So we know we're starting Bucky Irving, Kenneth Walker, JSN, Ibuka. For an overperformer, I'm kind of liking Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
He only had 4 points in his debut back. He's projected 9.26 this week. Last week he had to shake off that rust.
Yeah, he had the targets though. 10 targets.
Like you said, yeah, he was still targeted those 10 times. Remember how good he was last year before breaking his ankle? He was a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. I feel like we're going to see him return to that. Start him this week.
Yeah.
Underperformer. It's tough to do it, but I think it's time to bench Cooper Kupp.
Yep.
Maybe I'm overreacting, but I'm saying it.
You're not.
He's only had 1 double-digit fantasy game this year so far. He's projected 9.29. He's only averaging 5.5 points per game. If you take out his 12.5 performance, he's averaging 3.3 points per game.
Ouch.
You can't count on him.
No, sadly. Cooper Kupp is not Cooper Kupp anymore.
No, gotta say that. It's sad. All right. Next up, we've got the Lions, who are going to Cincinnati as the 10.5-point road favorites over the Bengals. The Lions didn't need to do much to beat the Browns, 34-10. In fact, they only threw for 168 yards and ran for 109, but still put up 34 points. Goff threw for 2 touchdowns, both of them going to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who had 7 catches for 70 yards. Gibbs, not Gibson, Jesus. I need to stop saying Jesus as well. Gibbs ran for 91 yards and a touchdown. But Monty, we saw him only get 12 yards on 9 carries, a little bit disappointing.
It's that Browns defense.
Yeah. The Bengals, they're going to continue to look like a mess. I don't know what else to say for them. The offensive line is terrible. They just lost 28-3 to the Broncos. Jake Browning only threw for 125 yards. Chase Brown only ran for 40. T. Higgins had 3 catches for 32 yards. Jamar Chase, 5 catches, but only for 23 yards. It's really hard to have faith in this team.
Yeah, I agree. This feels like another game where the running backs for the Lions dominate. Give me Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery to score an anytime touchdown and parlay it together.
Stop parlaying. You're going to mess.
There's no prices yet, but I'll tweet that out like everything I said. I'll tweet it out when it's ready.
You'll be tweeting.
Yeah.
Is it still tweeting?
And what? You don't X.
You're going to X it out.
I'm gonna X it out.
Yeah, cross out that parlay because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
For fantasy, I feel like this game is easy. You start your studs. Gibbs, Monty, Amon-Ra, the Lions offense, basically, is what I'm saying. If you have better options, though, I wouldn't start Laporta or Chase Brown. Though I understand you likely have to start Chase Brown. prepare for disappointment. I think he's going to be the main underperformer here.
Yeah. I was so happy in the league that I got Chase Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and AJ Brown. I named my team What Can Brown Do For You? I thought, oh, this is how cute. I got all these Browns.
It can suck.
It can suck. Yeah, Chase Brown and AJ Brown let me down. Bronson saying trade Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, and Devontae Adams for Amon-Ra, Rashee Rice, and Kenneth Walker. What's your quarterback depth, and is it a 1 quarterback league or 2 QB league? Because obviously that changes a lot. But yeah, let us know that, and then we can kind of answer that. I do like getting Amon-Ra over Devontae Adams, but Derrick Henry obviously better than Kenneth Walker. So then you're kind of breaking it down to, is Josh Allen worth Rashee Rice? It depends on what other quarterback you have.
Yeah, I need to see that information.
Yep, absolutely. So if you could give us that info, let's talk about the next game. The Commanders are hitting the road, and they're 3-point dogs to the Chargers. They lost 34-27 to the Falcons. Didn't see that coming. No Jaden Daniels again, but he is back. They fall to 2-2, and it's not going to get any easier, though, when they hit the road to the Chargers. Mariota did throw for 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. The backfield continues to be split between Chris Rodriguez and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. They each had 7 carries, with Rodriguez gaining 59 yards, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt had 47. We thought Luke Caffrey would step up with McLaurin out. He did have a touchdown, but it was Deebo Samuel who carried the workload. 6 catches on 6 targets for 72 yards and a touchdown. Big game from him. Chargers coming off that 21-18 loss to the Giants, where Herbert threw a touchdown but 2 interceptions. It was a first game for Marion Hampton with no Najee Harris. He had a big game, 128 yards and a touchdown. And Quentin Johnston, we said, or you said actually, just throw him in the lineup. Stop doubting.
Throw him in. Don't doubt.
Yeah.
I was telling myself that.
Right. Well, he had 8 catches on 13 targets for 98 yards and a touchdown. He's really gone from the dud to the stud, but a stud from a dud, Lad McConkey. He had 1 catch for 11 yards on 6 targets.
Yeah.
The line is only 3, which feels like an overreaction to the Chargers' loss to the Giants. I know Jaden Daniels is playing, but the Chargers are the better team here. So give me Chargers with the 3 points there.
All right. Fantasy. You got to start Quentin Johnston, start Marion Hampton. Looking at an overperformer, I kind of like Zach Ertz. He's projected 6.6, and the Chargers are good against the tight end, but I think he gets open and ends up scoring a touchdown here. Just a little prediction for an underperformer. I think this is going to be the Commanders running backs, specifically Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. That, a bunch of fantasy football gurus were excited about, but he hasn't done much, and he's going against a good run defense. I'd sit him if you can.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Bronson checking in saying it's a 2 quarterback league. He also has Kyler, Daniel Jones, and Jackson Dart. I would not get rid of Josh Allen in a 2 quarterback league.
No, I don't like it.
Yeah. If you're losing Josh Allen here, I wouldn't do that. That's just my opinion.
I agree with you.
You agree with me for a change.
I guess.
Let's talk a little Sunday Night Football.
Yes.
Big one for Cody.
Yeah, it is. Let's do it. All right. We've got Patriots at the Bills. The Bills handled business against the 0-4 Saints, though it wasn't a super flashy game for them. Josh Allen had 209 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. He also ran for 45 yards and a touchdown. James Cook ran for 117 yards and a touchdown. You had Khalil Shakir, who had 5 catches on 5 targets for 69 yards and a touchdown. Keon Coleman, 3 yards on 4 targets for 45 yards. Cody, I just have to give you this announcement that I'm sorry that Justin doubted your Patriots. They beat the Panthers 42-13. Drake May had 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. One of those went to Hunter Henry, one to Mac Hollins. The running game didn't really get going. Ramondre had 9 carries for 38 yards, and Treveon had 7 for 32. However, I will say, they brought it when we're talking about touchdowns, because you had Treveon, Antonio Gibson, and Drake May all had those rushing touchdowns. Also, Stephon Diggs, 6 catches for 101 yards. Just to throw that stat out there.
He's back.
Is he back?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know either.
I'm going to stick to the same bet I always do with the Bills, and that's James Cook longest rush over. They haven't set the line yet. It's probably going to be at 15 and a half yards for his longest rush. I'm taking the over. It's just an auto play for me now.
I see Cody in the chat saying "suck it, Justin," and all I can say,
Suck
it. Yeah. Okay, that's what went through my head. But anyway, fantasy. You've got to start Josh Allen. You got to start James Cook, Drake May. Looking at an overperformer, I threw in that stat for Stephon Diggs. I'm going to say give me Stephon Diggs. He finally looked like he was on the same page as Drake May with 7 targets for 6 catches, the 101 yards I mentioned. Now facing his former team, I could see him have a big game.
And they'll be behind.
Let's do it.
They
Yeah,
gotta pass
let's
the
do
ball.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anyone that I'm fading in this game except for the guys who you should be sitting. So another guy I think will overperform is Khalil Shakir. The past 2 weeks, he's gone over his projected total by 5 and then 7 points. He's projected 10.71, and I see another 14 to 17 point game for him.
Yeah, I like it. Just catching up with the chat real quick. Axton checking in saying good evening. What's up, Axton?
Hello.
Welcome. Cody from the NASCAR Gambling Podcast saying RIP Pats, Bill's going to blow us out. And Wesley saying let's go Bills. And Cody did make that motion, by the way, which you remember just from people doing in middle school or whatever. I remember it from wrestling where it came from with X-Pac going, suck it. Anyways.
It was more like late elementary,
you youngin.
On the playground.
Let's talk about this last game where the Chiefs and the Jaguars face off on Monday Night Football. The Chiefs are 3.5 point favorites in Jacksonville. They're 2-2 after beating the Ravens 37-20, and they finally kind of sort of look like the Chiefs again. I mean, Mahomes threw for 270 yards and 4 touchdowns, one each to Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, Isaiah Pacheco, and Tyquan Thornton. Xavier Worthy came back from injury. He looked good. He had 8 targets. He caught 5 of those for 83 yards. He also had 2 carries for 38 yards. Now, the Jaguars, I picked them as moneyline dogs to beat the 49ers. They won 26-21 to advance to 3-1. And Trevor Lawrence threw a touchdown pass to Hunter Long, of all people. Brian Thomas Jr. finally had a good game.
Yeah.
5 catches on 7 targets for 49 yards. Brenton Strange, good game, 6 catches on 45 yards. But it's Travis Etienne's show. He had 19 carries for 124 yards and a touchdown. I don't have anything for this right now because there are no lines available except.
What's going on with your bets today, Justin?
It's not me. It's the books.
I don't have pricing for you guys. I'll tweet it.
Yeah.
I'll tweet it out.
It's the books. It's not my fault. They're like really holding on to these props more than they normally do. I don't know why.
Start complaining, Justin.
I did.
All right. For fantasy, ETN is the obvious starter stud here, though. It did look like Brian Thomas, Trevor Lawrence, maybe back on the same page in this new offense.
The OChem is back.
OChem, we're feeling it. The overperformer I'm looking at right now is Brenton Strange. He's outperformed his projections 3 out of 4 weeks. Even though the Chiefs defense is good against the tight end, I think he's going to do it again.
I like that.
For an underperformer, he probably got some confidence back in Isaiah Pacheco after he scored his 12.8 points. However, that was because of his receiving touchdown. He may only be projected 8.6, but I don't think he's having a bounce back. I'm still not trusting him.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. Wesley pointing out that was Degeneration X. It sure was. Triple H, X-Pac.
Snapchat you.
Yeah, and Cody's going to Snapchat me the video.
Please do.
Oh, how I look forward to that. Let's talk a little bonus bets where I actually, since everybody's in the chat here, we want you to weigh in. You know, we've been doing the bottle lock bets.
Mm-hmm.
We hit a teaser again. So we're at $73.42 from our original $20. Now, if you're new to the show, this is, hey, we could buy a $20 bottle of Evan Williams Bottle and Bond, but let's make some bets and see if we can buy something better. We're at $73.42. I think we risk a little bit more. And
I would like us
it.
to risk, but we will let our listeners tell us when to cash out and go buy a bottle of whiskey. We have to document this on like our socials or on YouTube of us going to the store, looking at that. If we cash out now, the 73.42 price
right.
0.42, like I'm reading stats here, $73.42 bottle of whiskey.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think we risk a little bit and try to get it over $100 bottle. But in the
Mhm.
chat, let us decide now. And while you're deciding that, I think we talk about the listener league a little bit.
Yeah.
Which, if you didn't know, this season's Old Fashioned Football Listener League is officially sponsored by our friends at Keeper's Heart Whiskey. And we know fantasy football can get intense. You're going to have those weeks where you dominate, like I dominated Miranda, and I'm talking smack.
Oh my
And those
gosh.
weeks where your star player gets benched and you're drowning in waivers. Either way, Keeper's Heart has your back. Keeper's Heart is crafted in Minneapolis with one simple goal, bringing people together. And what better way to bring people together than football and whiskey? So grab a bottle, invite some friends over, and let Keeper's Heart be the real MVP of your game day. You can find it in stores near you or go to keepersheartwhiskey.com. And of course, drink responsibly. Fantasy League champs. Risk a little bit. See, I think so too. Real quick, sorry. Hopefully, for Keeper's Heart update, hopefully it's not offensive to say this, but power to the females. Female power.
Yeah. Why is that offensive?
Well, because it's sexist. You're not supposed to call out any male or female.
We're owning the league right now, guys.
Yes, you and Kate are currently top of the league at 3-1 records. Kate does have the tiebreaker because of points, but you're not far behind. Then behind you, also at 3-1, in third place is Pinky from Non-Sports and Whiskey. What did I just say?
Sports,
Non-sports
nonsense.
and whiskey is what I said. Sports, nonsense, and whiskey, not non-sports. Yeah, sports, nonsense, and whiskey. And then 7 teams are 2-2, so it's still anybody's game.
No, we're gonna keep leading it.
And sorry, Serial, still looking for that first win. I do play Kate this weekend, so since she's been a bit of a powerhouse, I'm a little worried. Like you, Kate, Pinky, and then shout out to Cody of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. He's 2-2, but he's had very high scores. He's the one that just gave me my first loss. Those are the teams to beat. I know. Those are the teams to beat. Let's go big, Aaron says. Pinky says, risk a little.
Okay. So we're keeping it those bottle lock bets. We're keeping it in there.
And I mean, I had something for this. So this is our last bet. We're either going to end up with a $60 bottle, a new bottle, because that's what's going to be left over if I lose this bet.
Okay.
Or a $120 bottle if we win it.
So this is exciting because a $60 bottle, you can still get
you can get good whiskey.
Very good whiskey at the $60 price range. $120, that's exciting because we don't do that often.
Right. Yeah,
hardly
exactly.
ever.
So our current value, 73.42, as you pointed out. If you're on YouTube, you can see the graphic now. So I'm going to risk $13.42. So again, we'll have 60 left over if it loses. We'll have 120 if it wins, actually a little more because it's going to pay $67.13. And if you look at these green checks, that's what I've won. 2 of them have been teasers. I'm going to stick with the teasers. This is a 6-point teaser. You tease the Giants, the Colts, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Lions, and the Chargers, and that'll pay $67.13. Let's win it.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's finally panning out. We're finally filling up the bottle and we're doing well. Justin, you're doing well.
And if I do my math right, this will end up being a $127.13 to buy a bottle of whiskey. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And Wesley's 3-1 and in first place in his league. Congrats to that. You can tell them all that it's because you listen to Old Fashioned Football, even if it's not. I mean, you can let them know, and then they can tune in. And then we'll be like, oh, Wesley's a good friend of ours. We've known him for years. And they'll be like, dude, you know these people? It'll be a whole storyline you can create. I don't know why you're laughing at me.
I just, yes. I don't have words for you sometimes.
All right, should we talk?
Get us back on track.
Should we talk a little whiskey?
Yeah,
let's
do it.
Why don't you let everybody know what we're drinking?
All right, we are drinking Wilderness Trail. It is their rye, bottled and bond rye. So let's, talk a little bit about the background of this distillery. And it goes all the way back to 2006. Shane Baker and Pat Heist met as students at the University of Kentucky. They were in a rock band together, and Justin, just don't get any ideas of asking Paul to start a distillery with you based on this.
Paul, we're starting a whiskey.
No. Anyways, they knew they'd need to do something else to pay the bills, and in 2006, after they earned degrees in mechanical engineering and plant pathology,
that's interesting.
It is. They created Firm Solutions, a one-stop shop fermentation consulting company, which helped build distilleries and other fermentation-focused operations. They were referred to as the science guys of bourbon. I love this. Me with my science background and all.
She was a biology major, if you didn't know.
Science is my thing. In 2012.
I thought you were going to say science was my bitch.
Well,
I don't know why. That's what I expected to
that's
come
what
out
you
of your
expected?
mouth. Yeah, I don't know
Sorry, I
why.
disappointed you.
Anyways, continue.
In 2012, Justin, get in the mindset. We're back in 2012. They decided, it was time, for their own. So they founded Wilderness Trail Distillery in Danville, Kentucky. And this city is known as the City of Firsts. And it was Danville's first legal distillery since Prohibition, which I just love this. And it sits along the Wilderness Trail, hence the name.
I wonder if there were illegal ones before that. Anyways,
this is the Wilderness Trail. Like, it's a historic region that Daniel Boone went through and created the trail in the 1700s. So now we're going to skip ahead to 2020. They were named the official 18th stop on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail, which we have yet to go experience.
One day.
We're doing it. We just got to get it in the books.
Yeah.
Get it planned.
We'll just pack up the car and go camping.
See you, people. So anyway, they do distillery tours from Tuesday through Saturday, as well as flights, cocktail classes, barrel picks, fermentation classes. They have smoking cocktail classes. They offer a lot of cool things.
I did read about their barrel pick thing. That looks cool. You go and sample some select barrels they have, and then you bottle your own, and it's just $65.
Yeah.
That's a really good price for getting to bottle your own whiskey.
No, it's absolutely. Going to a distillery, they offer like so much more in like the experience.
Yeah.
Of, like going to some of these different distilleries.
100%.
There's a lot of fun and unique things. So just overall, they have a wheated bourbon, they have a high rye bourbon, and then the rye that we're drinking, all of which are bottled in bond. For a rye, this particular one is a low rye content at just 56% rye. There's 33% corn and then 11% malted barley in this mash bill as well. We haven't tried it straight yet.
No.
I noticed you gave yourself a giant pour. Is that a bigger glass than mine?
No, it's the same size glass.
Okay. What are you doing to me? But just based on that, like 56% rye, the 33% corn, 11% malted barley, I feel like, I know we haven't tasted it, but I feel like that's going to create more of a sweeter rye instead of spicier rye that you tend to get.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, but let's find out. First off, what did you think of it in the old fashioned? Which yours is gone.
Mine is gone.
You gave me the ice cube that like melts.
As soon as I put it in, I thought that oops, and that's what she said. I know I thought about that as soon as I put it in there. You're like, this is more a decorative one that you can like do designs on it or pour a little bit on it.
It's a rose ice cube, but it also melts faster and
I
waters
thought
down
about
the
that
drink.
as soon as I put it in there, but it was already in there.
You gave yourself a nice big rock over there.
It was just a football. I gave you the pretty rose.
Those footballs are huge and they stay in football formation.
I thought it was pretty good in the cocktail.
It's definitely unique and it stands out.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was the best old fashioned I've ever had, but I definitely thought it was good. I gave it a
solid old fashioned. I would put it like right in the middle at 3.
See, I did 3.5. So apparently I liked it a little bit more. What do you think of this bottle? If you're on YouTube, you can see it now. It is unique.
Yeah.
It's a unique whiskey bottle, which I like.
Good to like hold the bottle.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's a unique bottle, but it's not like
it's not like a
it's not like a I'm a very harsh judge of bottles.
Yeah, you like the design and stuff. Well, does the stopper sell you any?
I do like the stopper. I would still give the bottle a 3.
Oh, geez. I gave it a 4.
Right in the middle.
I gave it a 4. Wesley said in the one he's 3-1, cigars on the line. I can fully support that. I love a good cigar. And Pinky 7-1 in his 2 QB league. That's a great start.
Awesome.
Yeah. Happy to hear it. Should we talk about the nose?
Yeah. Give me my tiny pour.
If you need more, you can have
Wait,
more.
you like poured yours up to like more than halfway.
That is not more than halfway.
That is more
people.
than half of the glass.
No.
Yes.
Especially if I tilt it like that.
Wait, I can't get in there. And there's
That's what
my
he
little
said.
sample. No.
You're great, Gray. I always drink a little bit more of it than you do anyways.
So let me just pour half the bottle in.
This
my glass.
definitely, I can smell the sweetness. This is
Yeah,
sweeter than most
It
fries.
has
smell.
a caramely smell.
Mm-hmm. But a little bit of spice too.
I can really smell graininess. Or maybe that's
I almost smell a little bit of
oak.
smoke. And oak.
Charred
I smell
oak.
Charred
oak.
little char.
Char, not smoke.
Yeah. Char.
There's a difference.
That's true. There is a difference. Cheers, Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is sweeter than most rice smell. You get a nice little char smell to it. They didn't
That's actually a lot of char. If the more you like sniff
the more
it,
you sniff it.
you're just sniffing the charred barrel.
Pinky Murr always wants her way. That's life, man. No. It smells really good though. I'm gonna give it.
I'm right in the middle of the 3 again. I'm sorry, 3.
That's fine. I gave it a 3.3. So I thought it smelled good.
I'm not saying it smells awful.
You're just right in the middle of the road. Let's give it an old taste. Unless you want to talk about it a little bit more.
Mm-mm. We can't both taste at the same time.
I know the silence of both podcast hosts tasting their sample at the same time. That's complex.
That char. Are we sure we're tasting char, or is it?
It's tobacco. I feel like I just smoked a cigar.
Yeah.
Like heavy tobacco finish. Like I literally
It smells
feel like
of char. It smells of char. We're really selling this. It smells of char,
Well,
but I think it
I
is
love
kind of tobacco. I
so-
do too in my whiskey. Like tobacco. I'm not getting the leather, but I like tobacco and leather in my whiskey.
That's interesting because I know I smoke more cigars than you do. Not that I smoke many, but definitely more than you. The last week I was smoking one on the mower, which I had to do because we have pirate bugs really bad and they were biting the shit out of me.
I don't want to.
As soon as I started having a cigar, it fumigated them, so I had to basically.
No-see-ums.
Yeah, no-see-ums. I
But
can
you
see
see
them.
but I swear they were called. You call them no-see-ums though.
No, I don't. I call them pirate bugs.
No, I've never. You didn't grow up saying, "Oh, the pirate bugs are getting me." It's the no-see-ums.
I did actually. I never said no-see-um.
We said no-see-um.
We did not. Wesley saying cigars and whiskey great together. 100% agree. And this is very good because you have that. I mean, it literally feels like I just smoked a nice, pleasant cigar. But it's got a little bit of, pleasant. It's got sweetness to it, though.
It's very different. This is very different.
I like it a lot.
So it really stands out in the old fashioned, but not like this.
No.
Like you can tell you're not drinking like I know this is a rye, so this is going to be a bad example, but you're not drinking like Makers in an old fashioned.
Right.
Like just
it's not
bourbon.
standard.
Standard.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to think of the one they put a lot in.
It has heat though. It's bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof. I was about to ask, what is the proof? It's 100.
Answered your own question.
I know. So it packs some heat.
It does. You don't get the normal rye spice that you get in rye,
which is
disappointing.
I love rye so much. So for me, if I was thinking, oh, I want a rye whiskey, I want it to be more rye. I want it to be high rye.
Yeah, I know.
But this is unique and it is good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is bad at all. I like this.
Now I want you to take a drink and I'm going to read you a taste profile or just a note that they gave out on their website.
You want to influence me?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Here's what they said. Spearmint.
Keep saying it.
Spearmint.
You almost sound like you're trying to be Jamie Dornan talking about the rainforest. It's a thunderstorm.
Deep in the rainforest, the thunder rolls.
Poor you.
I know. Having to listen to Jamie Dornan as I go to sleep, thinking, what is she seeing in her head right now? Because I know for every Valentine's Day we had to go to the 50 Shades of Grey movies, so I know what you're picturing when you hear his voice. So
No, but I did that to see if you would go along with it, and you went with it, and then the whole time we're listening to Jamie Dornan's night sounds or whatever he does, sleep sounds, not night sounds. Night sounds would probably be a little bit different. It was sleep sounds.
I went along with it. Back to Pinky's comment, Mer wants her way, and she
But
gets
I was
it.
like, I was trying so hard, like, not to bust out laughing. I was like, no, I'm gonna make you think that I legitimately need to listen to Jamie Dornan sleep sounds to try to get to sleep, not sleeping on whatever. Let's just do this. And you kill me. I kill myself.
Apparently there's a Matthew McConaughey one.
Is there?
Yeah, I'd like to.
All right.
Yeah, right. All right. We're going to bed now. He's got a little southern twang, Anyways, I want to check that one out and see what it's like.
Okay, can we get back on track?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I like this. I'm doing more like a 3.8.
All right. And I went 4.2, so I like it slightly more, but we're in that 4 range.
Yeah,
basically.
We're averaging
averages
4.
at
4.
Yeah,
because it's
just,
unique.
Right,
it's unique
it's
enough.
very different.
Okay, was I supposed to get spearmint? You didn't do it long enough to influence me.
Spearmint. Spearmint in the jungle.
In the jungle.
Or in the rainforest.
In the rainforest. He does the rainforest.
Yeah. No, that was just a note that they gave out that I thought was really interesting because.
Is it because of that? Okay, when you first take a sip, there's like a little bit of coolness.
Maybe
it's like cool right away.
Maybe that's why they. I always find those interesting because I rarely get what they say.
It's like, oh, this kind of tingled my mouth a little in a chilling way.
They're always like, you get spearmint and baked peaches and taste of a warm summer day or something like that. I'm just like, what? No, I taste
warm summer breeze,
oak, tobacco, and a little bit of caramel.
It's
That's what I get.
A rolling thunderstorm in the rainforest.
Is that your Jamie Dornan impression? Because it's spot on.
I know. Okay.
Anyways,
this is good though. I recommend this. If you want to try, if you like fries or whatever, you want to just try something new, I would recommend trying this if you can find it.
Yeah, absolutely. It is Wednesday.
Yes.
By Friday, they should have all those lines. I will tweet out my official lock bets for every single game, but you got to keep tuning in to get the analysis of why.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's all what I have. Thank you for 200 episodes of support. Here's a 200 more. Yeah. You have anything else you'd like to add?
No, this has been fun. Spearmint.
It's always fun hanging out, talking football, talking whiskey, and talking with you all. So my old fashioned, as you already told everybody,
it's gone.
It's
beat
gone.
You to it.
Yeah, it is gone. Going once, going twice.
Sold.